Kateri.
I'm defending church teaching against the heretics of the interwebs.
Come on.
Okay. Finish that later.
Cool. I'm Kateri.
I'm Rachel.
So, last week we started talking about our experiences with the beauty that is the traditional Latin Mass.
First, a quick review. The Latin Mass has silence because the world is so noisy.
Let the Mass come to you. Get lost in the Mass.
If you get stuck on a particular word in a reading or in the beauty of the music, pray through that, Lectio Divina style.
And now we continue.
More specifics.
If you start going to the Latin Mass on a regular basis, I definitely recommend getting yourself a Missle. A couple people told me this at first, but I was just like, I'm a poor college student, I can't afford that. And then my confirmation sponsor bought me one, and I realized that, oh hey, it's actually really worth it.
Churches usually have small missalettes that have the prayers and translations, but really, there's so much good stuff in this that you just don't want to miss out.
Quick run through of the layout of the Missal. About halfway through, you'll find the order of the Mass. So you have the Latin prayers on one side, you have the English translation on the other, and then over here, you have the theology behind what the prayers and motions mean.
The first part of the Missal has readings for the Sundays of the year, and then after the order of the Mass, you'll find different feast days.
One thing I love about the parish that we go to is that the church really celebrates the different feast days and themes of the Mass, whatever the day might be.
Sometimes this might include a procession, and sometimes it includes themes throughout the propers of the Mass.
And like I said before, the Missal explains the theology behind certain parts of the Mass, which is so cool.
For example, this is the theology behind the Chalice. The Chalice itself represents the three theological virtues. Its base symbolizes our being rooted in faith. Its stem rises straight upward in hope, like a plant seeking the sun or our souls seeking the heights of heaven. Finally, the cup of the chalice opens up like a flower in full bloom, representing the flowering of charity, which we imbibe from the holy sacrifice.
Huh!
How do they come out? Oh, wow. God.
And then another example. This is the theology behind the Our Father at the place it is in the Mass. It says, St. Gregory the Great placed this prayer after the canon as its completion. In the ancient church, it was considered the only preparation worthy of the Holy Communion. And there's awesome stuff like that all throughout here.
It's a theology lesson while you're praying the Mass.
And hey, there's so much good stuff in here that you're not going to be able to take it all in all at once.
That's one, why you get lost in the Mass and let God show you what He wants to.
And two, one of the reasons why you come back, time after time.
And one thing that I think is really cool about the Latin Mass is the last Gospel. Every Mass is ended with a reading from John chapter 1, verses 1 through 14. It ends with, "And the Word was made flesh, and dwelt amongst us, and we saw His glory, the glory as it were of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth."
And hey guys, one more thing that we want to mention is that sometimes there's a tendency for people to separate themselves into Latin Mass Catholics and other Catholics. As a priest at my Newman Center mentioned though, that's dangerous to have that mentality of us Catholics and them Catholics.
Guys, there is one Catholic Church. Don't let your mentality or labels get in the way of that.
And really, I can personally say that my experience of the Novus Ordo Mass has actually been enriched by the knowledge that I've received from going to the Latin Mass. This is the rich history behind the Mass that most of us are familiar with today. It's always interesting to think, oh, that's where that comes from.
And so, if you haven't before, definitely treat your soul and search out a way to experience this Mass.
So, this week, go experience the Latin Mass.
What? Who saw that one coming? Learn more about our church's rich history.
Go eat some hot fudge. And be holy.
Hi, Ben Smith.
And one more thing. If these videos have encouraged you to go check out a Latin Mass for the first time, let us know, please, because a friend of mine and I actually have a contest in which we're trying to get people to go to the Latin Mass for the first time. And I think we're tied now, 6-6. So Help us out, please and thank you.